Good evening, everybody. Today, I picked my devotional about idolatry and some of the things that can be led to idolatry. Idolatry can take many forms. It does not have to look like idolizing someone specific or a specific person. Although those can be things that we may very well be an issue for some. It can come in a form of just about anything that takes God's place in your life. And that means you may not be physically worshiping these things like God on Sunday, but even giving it more than you give God. If anything is taking the time of the Bible study, worship service, prayer life, times spending with your brothers and sisters, acts of service, this could lead to idolatry. Personally, I have trouble with envy. I can see new hunting gear, bows, rifles, equipment, anything that has to do with that subject, and I can fall victim to that. Whatever else that has to do with that, other than the word or focusing on my Christian walk, is something that is sorry. What does the Bible say about it and those guilty of it? 1 John chapter 5, verse 21 leaves us with, little children, keep yourselves from idols. Amen. That's all you get. But what else can that say? So Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 through 21. Now the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness, revelries, and the like, of which I tell you beforehand, just as I told you in the time past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom. Idolatry is something that we're supposed to flee from, and we're not to trust these things, like in Psalms 115, verses 4 through 8. Their idols are silver and gold, the works of men's hands. They have mouths, but they do not speak. Eyes they have, but they do not see. They have ears, but they do not hear. Noses they have, but they do not smell. They have hands, but they do not handle. Feet they have, but they do not walk. Nor do they mutter their throat. Those who make them are like them, so is everyone who trusts in them. What are some practical ways to flee from idolatry? If we look to Matthew chapter 22, verse 37, he tells us that you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. When we put God in his proper place, like this verse tells us, there shouldn't be any room for anything else. But everyone is tempted, and we can be reassured from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, which says, no temptation has overtaken you except such as the common to man, but God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make the way of escape that you may be able to bear it. Another way to help is to ask whether you are meditating on the things that you think you should, like in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. And that says, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, is there any virtue, and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. I've found that if you turn these things into questions like, is what I am doing praiseworthy? And if not, then I know I need to readjust my attitude and look at different things. These are some practical things that will help you keep your mind focused on God instead of worldly things that can take over our hearts. So if there's anybody that needs any help while we stand and sing.